The day that I finally decided to put myself first was a glorious day of freedom and clarity and realization and like a breath out of relief for my soul. Like I finally took off a giant backpack full of boulders on my soul. Once I finally decided that I was gonna do what made sense to me, what mattered to me, what excited me, not what was practical, not what other people were telling me to do. I was free. I was able to step into the new chapter with excitement and life and without dread, which is everything. If you're doing something because you think it's practical but you're dreading it, then it's not for you. Your emotions do tell you valuable information, right? And yes, we need to think about paying our bills, right? But beyond the bare basics, you need to do what is best for you and what puts you first. And that's so hard. It is really hard to put yourself first when you value making a difference in the world and not being a selfish person, you know? To the older generations, that term is entirely new. Being selfish without being a horrible person, what's that, you know? But the younger generations are starting to understand that there are many times in life that you have to be selfish in order to be a good person, because if you're forcing yourself to sacrifice yourself for other people, you're going to get resentful, and that resentment bleeds onto everything you do. It bleeds into the vibe of everything you do, and people can feel your misery. So once I realized this, and I finally left an environment that was killing me, but I wanted so bad to power through, and I wanted to make a difference and be a good person, and I just wasn't, because my heart wasn't in it anymore, but I was forcing myself to try and make the best of it, you know? Once I finally made that leap, I immediately felt such a weight off of my soul and my spirit, and I finally left survival mode. And I realized that I was choosing this pain and this suffering that was actually optional. I was boxing myself in, thinking that it was the most practical option and it made the most sense and yada yada yada. But when it literally destroys your mental health, it no longer makes sense. If it makes you wanna not be here living life, it no longer makes sense. It does not matter. You have to leave, and you have to figure out the rest later. Think about it practically still, but practicality is going to be number 2 on the list. Your mental health is going to be number 1. It just has to. You cannot come up with creative solutions, and problem solve and move forward away from your circumstances that you're in until your mental health is better. There's science on this. If you need a scientific reason to leave the circumstances that are killing you and draining you, our brains do not work. They do not work well at all when we're mentally ill. Our memory goes down, our cognitive function goes down, our ability to problem solve goes down, our creative solutions to the floor. So if you need permission to get out of survival mode, that is a practical reason why. Because you are going to be able to think better about how to move forward. So if you think there's no way out and there's no practical way to improve your circumstances, just try to take one step away from that survival mode, and then you are 10 times, 20 times more likely to be able to step even further into even better circumstances that you didn't think were possible or realistic for you right now. Your brain is literally just broken. It's just not working right now because you're unwell. You see how like it's a cycle, and when you get stuck in that place, it keeps you stuck. Yeah. It's a thing, and it's a thing that you cannot see when you're in the trenches. And that's all the more reason you need to get out of the trenches. And I understand. Trust me, I understand this economy is horrible. Life is hard. Life is getting harder in America. Trust me, I'm aware. I literally applied to 2,000 plus jobs before I got one. But I pushed and pushed and pushed because I was tired of putting myself last on the list of important things in my life. It's not right. And it is absolutely true, especially in this day and age. The more your cup is full, the more you can overflow in a way and give in a way that is true and genuine and feels good to everyone involved, right? If you are giving in a way that is self-sacrificial, the resentment and the anger and the frustration that you shove to your toes to try and make someone else happy, they can even feel that. So at that point, you're not giving that much at all, you know? You're just perpetuating and forcing a circumstance that isn't right. And I'm not saying there aren't moments where you have to go pick up your friend at 2 a.m. when you really don't want to help them out, right? I'm not saying be a selfish person. But I'm saying put yourself first. You can put yourself first without being a selfish person. It is real. And when you realize that, you're so much more free in a life that is already hard. You need that freedom. And if you need to call your friend who you know is going to agree with you, do it. If you know in your heart it's what's best for you and you need encouragement, go find it from someone who you know is going to give it to you. Do what you need to do to make that leap. It's everything. It's everything. I'm so excited to give what I want to give to this world and what I feel I have to give. I'm so excited to be the person that I want to be and share that with the people who value it. And the day that I decided to let myself be who I am and build my circumstances around that to support who I am instead of trying to change who I am and force myself through circumstances that are literally killing me, I became so free and so happy. And I feel better about who I am. And I see hope and I see light. You know? I started to see a way out, and I started to see that when nothing in your life brings you joy anymore and it's because of the circumstance you're in, you gotta go. Full stop. Yoga wasn't bringing me joy. Art wasn't bringing me joy. My garden wasn't bringing me joy. The people that I love weren't bringing me joy. At that point, you're in the wrong place in the universe. Yeah. I want to read you something very brief that I wrote about 5 minutes ago. One sentence, and it's so true. If you're doing all the things that make you you and nothing helps, it's time to go. Period. Make that leap. Trust yourself. And don't look back. Take what life gives you. You got this. Good luck.